Cross-examination of witnesses on the trial involving two Gambia Petroleum officials continues at the High Court in Banjul. The UN and its partners are initiating plans to restore peace in Sudan amid political tensions. And Ethiopia's economy is projected to increase by over 6% despite the global economic challenges. And more coming ahead on The World. This is Eyeafrica TV and you are watching the World Today News Bulletin. Many thanks for joining us. I am Amadou Kante and now the news in detail. Now, the depot supervisor and acting general manager told the High Court on Thursday that Gambia Petroleum does not have a standard laboratory to carry out proper analysis of products. Now, during cross-examination in the economic crime trial involving two of his former bosses, Sehu Drame and Lamin Gassama, Mr. Toure said because of the unavailability of a standard laboratory, Gambia Petroleum will send samples for certification. Mafuji Sise reports.
The witness told the court that he can remember preparing a report on the 4th, the 25th, and 11th October 2021 and November 1st, 2021, adding that Gambia Petroleum sent these reports to all the stakeholders, including the oil marketing companies, the Ministry of Petroleum, Pura, and the Ministry of Trade. At this juncture, the weekly report dated 11th, 4th, and 25th October 2021 and November 1st, 2021, which are unsigned, were submitted in evidence as Exhibit P27-1 to P27-4. He explained how they used to generate figures on Exhibit P27-1, the stock instance volume that was expected in the same week, included estimating the whole. The witness also asked how he connected the Exhibit P26 and P27-2, and he explained that the stock instant volume was added with the physical stock on that date to be able to determine that particular stock. Lawyer M.D. Mbalo further asked the witness how he related that, and the witness narrated that it represents the physical stock volume which captured the stock in volume on the net. The acting operations manager told the court that P27-4 and P26-21 represent the physical stock on that week in volume which was stock in transit in metric tons. Mr. Toure said the physical stock with gas oil was 89,700.56 liters, and whether that figure connect with P27-3 and P26-16, the witness affirmed yes, they are connected. The depot supervisor noted that P26-16 represent the physical stock on that date, which includes stock in transit on that date. Recalling the 25th October 2021, on the operations, the second prosecution witness said while they were expecting to receive a vessel, the Malian trucks were queuing to load after spending a month or so, meaning they came at the beginning of the month towards the end. He said they received an instruction from the second accused person there will be no export and they are expecting to receive the vessels at the end of the month, and because of the limited stock, they were reserving that stock for national security purpose. He further explained that after receipt of this instruction, Gambia Petroleum put the Malian trucks on hold and concentrate on loading the domestic trucks. He pointed out that they expect both re-export, load domestic trucks and any trucks that comes to the depot, but at that time only the domestic trucks are allowed to load, and before loading each truck required a loading ticket, but at that time there was no ticket given to him by his loader regarding the Malian trucks. On term transfer, the witness said he was assigned by Gambia Petroleum auditors to provide an ITT certificate from April 1st to October 28th for audit purposes, but he told the auditors that he did not have all of it in his possession. He said he reached out to the second accused person to provide the ITT certificate for the auditors and to cooperate with the auditors for their audit purposes, but the second accused told him, PW2, that he, second accused, has some of the scanned ITT in his computer and will get them printed and send it to him, PW2, to forward it to the auditors. He said at this time, the second accused person was on administrative leave. He said the second accused did as he promised, and upon receipt of the ITT certificate from the second accused, he gave it to the auditors to complete their work, which in turn returned all the files after completion of the second accused person's office, but that he, PW2, has no access to the original files as they were sent through email address of the two accused persons. At this point, 48 ITT certificates and releases dated May 13, 2021 from ADAX are admitted and marked as Exhibit P28-1 to P2848. 55 ITT certificates and releases from Trafigura dating May 13 to 29 October 2021 are admitted and marked as Exhibit P29-1 and P2955. 24 ITT certificates and attachments from PSTV are admitted and marked in evidence as Exhibit P31 to P3024 from May 13 to October 6, 2021. 4 certificates and 1 email from Star Oil are also admitted and marked as Exhibit P31-1, P31-4, dated 26 March 2021, 7 June 2021, 28 April 2021, and October 2021. 2 ITT certificates and 3 invoices from Solo Dabo dated 24 August 2021 and 21st October 2021 and 21st September 2021 and 28 October 2021 are admitted and marked as P32-1 to P32-5. 2 releases orders from Maricon dated 27 April 2021 and ITT certificate from Atlas dated 2nd April 2021 are also admitted and marked as Exhibit P33-1 to P33-3. At this juncture, the witness was asked to look at Exhibit P29-1 and the tax carried out. The witness told the court that this was sent to both the first and second accused persons and also one Ibrahim Haidara, and based on that instruction, intern transfer certificate was prepared by the second accused to carry out the instruction given. The witness concluded that what normally followed after Exhibit P29-1 instruction is that the signed ITT will be sent back to the traders and oil marketing companies based on the instruction attached. For Eyeafrica News, I am Mafuji Sise.
And we will keep you abreast with all the developments in relation to the ongoing trial of the two officials of Gambia Petroleum at the High Court in Banjul. Now, moving on, the United Nations and its partners are initiating talks to mend differences between the Sudanese government and the opposition as part of efforts to end the crisis in the North African nation. The country's economy has been largely paralyzed due to the political unrest, which has put citizens in a dire situation. Now, since the military took over last October, the Sudanese administration has not been receiving external support. Here's more details of that in this report.
It's been a volatile 6 months in the country. The unrest has paralyzed Sudan's economy.
The prices are skyrocketing. No one can afford the high cost of living. Every day I spend $6 on bread only. Nonetheless, other household expenses. The situation was at least stable before the coup. We need solutions, not promises.
The United Nations Integrated Transition Assistance Mission in Sudan, UNITAMS, the African Union, AU, and the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, have launched a tripartite initiative to facilitate talks between Sudanese stakeholders.
Talks to resolve the political crisis in Sudan will be held in this month. Sudanese people are hoping the United Nations tripartite mechanism can reach a breakthrough in the long-running deadlock.
The political unrest has led to more economic hardship for many in the country. Inflation in Sudan is at a record high. Many families across the country can't afford to put food on their tables. Sudan's economy continues to weaken after foreign aid was halted following the coup last October.
Depriving Sudan of debt relief and the development programs will lead to catastrophe. The impacts are already being seen in the stopping of production and paralyzed exports.
A high-level delegation of representatives of Western countries visited Sudan recently to show their support for the country's transitional process. They made it clear that the resumption of international financial support for Sudan is tied to the formation of a civilian-led government.
Now let's stay in the North African region because India has become the new source of wheat for Egypt following the apparent disruption of wheat supply to the North African nation amid the Ukraine conflict. In 2021, Egypt imported around 80% of its wheat from Russia and Ukraine. Since February 24 invasion, wheat importers in Egypt have faced record high prices, forcing them to look for other options. Now, authorities have initiated measures to support farmers to enhance local production to mitigate the prevailing circumstances. Let's have more details of that in this report.
The first wheat shipment from India is on its way to Egyptian ports. It confirms that the North African country is exempted from a wheat export ban announced by the Asian nation after its harvest was damaged by weather conditions. The 60,000 tons of wheat will be delivered as part of a 500,000-ton deal between both countries.
Egypt, a main wheat importer worldwide, used to depend on 50% of its wheat from Russia and 30% from Ukraine. That's 80% of its needs. After the Ukraine-Russia crisis, it turned elsewhere. There are about 14 countries, including India, France, and Kazakhstan, that Egypt can resort to, but India in particular is the third largest producer in the world and an important market, especially that the price is cheap like Russia and Ukraine compared to other producers.
Egypt imports about 12 million tons of wheat a year. A shortage in global wheat supply and the doubling in its price had posed a threat to Egypt's food security. The North African country had to accelerate its measures to guarantee enough reserves of this strategic commodity.
We are working on two fronts. Besides imports, we are increasing local production through horizontal expansion with mega projects to increase cultivated areas by developing huge pieces of land in northern Sinai and rural areas in the Delta Valley. As for vertical expansion, we have one of the highest rates of production per acre. Our average yield per acre is about 2.8 tons, while the global average yield is 1.5 tons per acre. Therefore, we are on track to achieve partial self-sufficiency for this fast-growing population.
And experts are commending such steps.
This is definitely not the last crisis to hit the world, and these measures are proactive by increasing the size of the cultivated land to reach 65% by 2025 and encouraging farmers to grow wheat by buying their harvest at higher prices than before. We are expecting a record 5.5 million tons of local wheat harvest this year to give us a buffer for now.
The government has also banned the export of major commodities, including products made of wheat ingredients, to ensure its availability in the market. Working on several fronts, the government says it has managed to secure wheat reserves till the end of the year, hoping that conditions would be more favorable in 2023.
It is coming from the Egyptian capital, Cairo. In another news, Chinese President Xi Jinping on Thursday called on the BRICS countries to work together to build a broad global community of security for all. President Xi made the remarks while delivering a video address at the opening session of the BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting. Now, the BRICS countries include Brazil, Russia, South Africa, India, and China. Here's more of that.
Foreign ministers of the 5 BRICS nations, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, have kicked off an annual meeting. Chinese President Xi Jinping addressed the opening of the gathering via video. He said the group should strengthen mutual trust and cooperation on security, coordinate on major international and regional issues, and respect each other's sovereignty, security and development interests. Xi Jinping said development is a common task for emerging markets and developing countries, and they need to strengthen cooperation now more than ever. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi chaired the meeting via video link.
You are watching the World Today News bulletin from Eyeafrica TV, live from our studios in Banjul. And of course, from that report there, we will now take a break and come back shortly. Stay with us.
TAF Africa Global is the first and biggest private real estate developer in the Gambia, with a presence in 7 other African countries. We are launching the development of the first smart and most modern office and retail towers in the Gambia, called TAF Twins, located in the heart of the Canifing institutional area and 10 minutes drive from Banjul. TAF Twins is designed to have 5 floors of office spaces ranging from 50 meters square to over 1,000 meters square, 2 elevators, central air conditioning, 24-hour electricity and water supply, with the ground floor reserved for banking, supermarket, restaurant and coffee shops. For your bookings and reservations, please call now on 376-2333 or 776-2333.
Welcome back. This is the World Today News bulletin on Eyeafrica TV, and once again, many thanks for joining us. Now, the Central Bank of the Gambia has announced or has warned banks in the country to distance themselves from paying out foreign currency withdrawal in a new move to ensure that all market transactions are conducted in the country's legal tender. In a letter circulated to all banks, the Central Bank said all banks must henceforward pay in the dollar currency, warning that if any bank is found permitting the withdrawal of cash in the foreign currency will be penalized as prescribed. Now, the central bank further reminded banks that from now, foreign exchange banknote shipment will only be for the purpose of funding banks, of course not through accounts, and the consumers will who bring foreign currency shall sell to the banks rather than shipment being conducted on their behalf to fund their private accounts. This, the central bank said, is in line with the enhancement or enhancing its anti-money laundering framework. The foreign exchange market is a global decentralized or over-the-counter market for the trading of currencies. This market determines foreign exchange rates for every currency. It includes all aspects of buying, selling, and exchanging currencies at current or determined prices. Now, moving on, the Ethiopian economy is estimated to grow by more than 6% in 2022, according to the country's National Microeconomy Council. Authorities attributed the economic significant growth to the good performance of the agri-industry as well as general trading sectors. The Ethiopian economy has been adversely butchered by the global pandemic and the recent Ukrainian conflict, but officials are hoping to improve the situation. Here's more details of that in this report.
Ethiopia's economic growth projection of about 6.6% is said to be the highest compared to the last couple of years. The projection, which was released by Ethiopia's National Macroeconomic Council, is based on the economy's performance over the first 2 quarters of the year. The government says agriculture, service, industry, and general trading sectors will contribute to the growth.
Following the last harvesting season, the country managed to cover about 405,000 hectares of land with grains, and this irrigation-based agricultural work has brought about 16.2 million quintals of wheat. In the second round, the regions covered 208,000 hectares of land with grain. Out of this, we expect 8.3 million quintals of wheat. The other is the service sector, which contributes a lot to the national economic growth. Though it was affected by the COVID pandemic, it is delivering well. The transport and logistics sectors have brought great revenue. Ethiopian Airlines' performance, for instance, is one of the best in the world.
Over the last 2 years, Ethiopia's economy has been seriously affected by the 2 major happenings, the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in the north. In addition, drought and food shortages, as well as the conflict in Ukraine, have overshadowed most economic activities in this country. Although Ethiopia's economic projection seems high, it has also been supported by global financial institutions.
All indications show there will be positive economic activity and a strong growth in this country. Global financial institutions predict the same growth even though we have difficulties in numbers. However, to bring the needed changes in the lives of our citizens is ensuring the quality of economic growth that is vital.
Ethiopia has prioritized the projected economic growth and is seeking to attract as much foreign direct investments as possible, creating millions of jobs in the process and guaranteeing the full benefits of the people from the growth.
The first thing we are now focusing on is making sure that large investments enter the country so that more jobs can be created for the people. This is important because creating jobs is one of the key ways that one uses as a way of benefiting citizens directly from the economic growth. We believe every economic activity in this country must positively impact the lives of the people.
And a report there from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. We eventually bring this news edition to an end, but for more details on this and other stories, as always, as ever, you can visit on our website, Eyeafrica.tv. But for now, many thanks for the privilege of your company. Thanks for watching and do have a pleasant weekend. Bye for watching.